Not a whole lot of collecting left to do. We've almost got all of the items in the entire game. The next item on the list is not in the actual boss room with the walker boss, but it's on the way there, so that's where I'm headed. So this is where the next item is. You'll notice it's in this grenade panel under the floor. This item is actually kind of unique in that the first time you came through here, you probably just ran right through the room, but if you stop and let the camera notice you, it'll spawn a whole bunch of waves of enemies, and you have to fight them off before you can really get the item. This is, of course, trivial with the fusion helmet, and then getting the foam pack itself is just as trivial. Now I'm actually going to head through the actual boss room into the room where I got the thrust amplifier, and then I'm going to head up and out to make my way outside. Now that I'm outside, there's actually a missile pack out here that I forgot to get. It's not so much that I forgot to get it, it's just that I ran across the water using my hyperspeed instead of actually stopping to get it. So that's what I'm going to do now. The missile pack in question is just beneath this dock. Shoot the rocks with your missiles. Now I'm going to head to the room where we fought the second exosuit boss and then got this coil rifle a while back in order to get the last set of gold bars in the game. And I'm actually going to head inside rather than going up the hill. This is a lot more direct. The gold bars in question are in this room. They are hidden inside of these crates underneath this platform. This enables access to the gold weapons, but I'm actually not going to pick up the gold weapons since they are not required for 100% completion. Anyhow, the next and final foam pack in the game is through this door. And this would grant me access to infinite foam if I didn't have it already for being level 30. And now we're going to do some backtracking in order to pick up the final missile pack. It's in the room where we hit the button in order to lower the bridge that had the 2 spider tanks in it, and that I recommend that you cannot fight it and just run and get the hell out of there. Interestingly enough, this missile pack is actually hidden in a grenade vent, but you need missiles to get this far anyway, so it doesn't really matter. And that gives access to infinite missiles. If you really wanted, which is not the case for me, you could completely ignore your gun and use nothing but missiles for the rest of the game. Coming down here is actually completely optional, but I wanted to show that since we ran away from here the first time, this fight is over and done with. All of the enemies have despawned, and both spider tanks have been deactivated, and you can't re-fight them now that you have infinite missiles. Normally, if I wasn't playing on Insane, you'd kill the 2 spider tanks by shooting grenades into this vent until they blow up. But on Insane, you are completely exposed where you stand to shoot grenades into that vent, so you just have to run. And right about here is the point where I realized where I forgot the armor upgrade from earlier, so I'm gonna go get that. Don't mind me, I'm just gonna fast forward this. And here it is. I mentioned this earlier when I came through here the first time, and I also mentioned that forgetting items is just kind of part of playing on Insane since they're not marked on the map in any way. Don't mind me, I'm just going to fast forward again to get back to where I was before I took this little detour. And we're back. There is one item left in the entire game. We have every single one of the item pickups, and now it's time to get the final weapon. And it's in this room. Clearing out this room with your infinite missiles and the fusion helmet should be pretty trivial. And the final weapon is up here through this vent.
Inertial element acquired. Full offensive capabilities now online. Operating capacity at 100%.
Locked and loaded.
And that is every single item in the game. So we've got a new toy to play with, and it's a shotgun. And I could have picked this weapon up earlier, but I chose to stay with the coil rifle simply because this weapon, known as the inertial element, is so powerful that it kills everything in one shot. Now that sounds pretty good, now doesn't it? But let me show you something here. Let me go to this save room and reload a save in order to respawn all the enemies. Now if I return to this room where all the enemies were, you can get a demonstration of the inertial element's power. As you can see, all you really have to do is wave your gun around and everything dies. You don't even have to aim. And not only does this weapon not offer bonus multipliers for headshots, it's not even capable of landing headshots, which is yet another reason why I chose to stick with the coil rifle until now. But anyway, enough of that, let's trigger the endgame sequence.
Surprised? I allowed your friend to discover the schematics while she was engaged in her espionage.
Espionage? What?
Gullible. So gullible. You haven't accomplished anything, you know. We already assassinated the Vice President this morning, and that was simply a warm-up.
The Vice President is dead? But why?
It was his turn. The others will have theirs. And now you will have yours.
Oh, crap, 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 crap!
Run, 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 run as fast as you can. Up the ladder, through this room, and you can even run up this elevator shaft if you time your jump correctly. So, now it is time to go fight the final boss and put an end to this restoration nonsense. But that's gonna have to wait till the next video, so I'll see you there.